And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Oh, Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The Milo gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Slack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Eventually we'll get hooked, right? Welcome in everybody to NCC Sim Racing, live on V-Speed 2. Whenever iRacing decides that it's gonna work, let's do that. There we go. Here we are live here tonight with Matthew Guazinda starting up front, David Curtis on the outside, Harry Duncan, Peter Lanik, Adam Pohl, Clint Fletcher, Bruce Wiley, Dean Thulin, Colin Korchanik, and Brian Kennedy out there tonight. And we've talked about NCC Sim Racing several times here with the points, but here tonight, the final race in the season finale. Green flag is out and we're live and racing. In lap 1, turn 1, we have a big problem there. Matthew Guazinda getting the worst end of it. We're gonna have to rewind. Apparently the replay counter not working correctly, so here it is again. Not exactly sure who that was. I think it was Perry Duncan overshooting that turn. But Bruce Wiley takes over the lead after all of the carnage to start this race out. He's going to be side by side coming out of the exit of the final turn down this front stretch. Wiley takes over the lead on lap 1. Kennedy chasing him down. We saw last week Kennedy having a lot of speed, was able to hang with the leader for the vast majority of the run. Just wasn't able to chase him down towards the end of the main feature. Now looking to the inside of Bruce Wiley for the lead. The opportunity is there, and Brian Kennedy is going to take over on lap 2. Another little peek to the inside there by Wiley, but not going to work out, and he falls back. Peter Lanik now catching up. Dean Thulin might be running side by side. Looks like Clint Fletcher flashing the lights to let him know he's coming. And through the S's, third through 6th position right on top of each other. David Curtis starting to catch up to this pack as well. That Porsche driven by 6th place Clint Fletcher looks like it's on the move. It's been picking up the pace. It was actually the second fastest car on the track that time by. And Brian Kennedy has not left the sight of Bruce Wiley yet. So completing lap number 2. Kennedy officially leading that one, starting lap number 3, and we're 4 minutes into the session. So if you're not familiar with Motegi, it has an oval setup that I'm familiar with. It's a road course featuring 12 turns. I believe I have those facts correct. 14 turns to be exact. I wasn't sure if they did a 12A and a 12B. They actually have a 13th and 14th turn connecting here before the front straightaway. And a long hairpin at turn 10 really sets these drivers up for failure. A long straightaway just before it. And if we go on board here, right on with Bruce Wiley, who's under fire from Peter Atlantic. Let's actually go on board with the BMW Atlantic. You'll see what I'm talking about here with this long straightaway just before the hairpin, and it's downhill, so it makes it even more difficult to brake. Atlantic doing a great job. Still right on the back bumper of Bruce Wiley, and here we go into turns 12 through 14. The rhythm section where you can clip the track if you do it just right. You can pick up a lot of time. All over the back bumper of Wiley now as they go down the front stretch. Lap number 4 underway. And side by side for second position as Atlantic goes by. Not the preferred line there, but he might get a run down this stretch. He is going to hang doors with the 67 of Wiley, but not quite able to complete that pass. He's going to have the inside now as they go into turn 3, and he will complete it. Ryan Kennedy, meanwhile, runs away a little bit here. Pulls out about a second over Atlantic. Looking for some other close battles on the racetrack. Keith Dooley and David Curtis have spread out a little bit. Perry Duncan, who got caught up in that carnage at the start of this race. There's Matthew Guazinda, who got turned into the grass. You can see the heavy damage on the rear end of that. What should look like a Ferrari. But the whole right rear caved in on that one. And there's Adam Pohl. He was the mistake maker. So it was Adam Pohl that locked up the front tires and slid into the back of Guazinda to start this race off. Unfortunate there with Pohl. Typically, Adam would be up here in the top 5, but a little mistake there, and I'm not sure if it has anything to do with manufacturers. He's usually in a Porsche, but if he feels that that GT is a little bit faster at any particular track, he'll change it up. There's Clint Fletcher. He's on TV, flashing the lights. Always a good time to see the 69. I'm not sure if he ever does that because he's on broadcast or not, but I like to think he's watching while trying to drive. And on board here with Wiley, who's fallen out of the top 3. Mistakes were made here for the 67. And so back to 6th position Not exactly sure what happened to the 67, but my replay is broken here tonight, so we'll have to probably restart ATVO to get that to work properly. For now, we're just along for the ride. Top 3 is spread out quite a ways. About a second separating each one of these drivers. In 5th through 7th position, right on top of each other, from David Curtis to Dean Thulin and Bruce Wiley. Wiley trying to get back up there to the 2nd position where he was a moment ago. Got a lot of work to do. And almost overshot there by the 43, Curtis. But he's going to get through this rhythm section and cut it just perfectly, and that opens up the door. The BMW, the 84, is going to slide it around. That's Thulin, and pole has nowhere to go. Hey, what do you know? The replays do work. Off the track there. And this is just going to hurt. It's going to add to it here for Adam Cole. He almost misses them, but not quite. So that little mistake made there. Wiley actually gets back behind Curtis after the pass that he had made just before the last 3 turns. Curtis said no and took the position back into the top 5. Matthew Guazinda has caught up to Perry Duncan. This is for the 8th position. There we go. There's a better shot. So I'm looking directly at the rear spoiler on this BMW. And so the spread amongst the field, 26 seconds back to Dean Thulin in the 10th position after that mistake. Your leader for 4 laps, Brian Kennedy taking it over on lap 2. Coming by to complete lap number 6, and in good fashion, the 77 looking like the fastest car on the racetrack here tonight. Some guys that have struggled here tonight. Adam Cole making his debut back here for the final race. He hits pit road. Going to use the fast repair on the Ford GT, and it looked like maybe that machine had some heavy left front damage there from clipping the side of Thulin with that spin in the final turn. Not a lot going on this racetrack right now. Down the long straightaway here before the hairpin. I was trying to get some points up here for you guys to take a look at. Just to base last week off of this week and figure out who's where. But I want to try to do it correctly. There we go. There's some points for you. So this gives us an idea of the amount of wins, and some of these stats not quite accurate, but still the same here with Fletcher. Adam Cole actually following out of the top 3, I do believe. And there's Brian Kennedy, who's going to make the fight here in the final race. Has the opportunity, as he has led 8 of the 9 laps that we've ran here tonight. Or 7 of the 9, I don't even know. 6 out of the 8 laps, rather. There's a proper statistic. We're on lap number 8. I'm a little bit off today, can we tell? So the battle for second starting to heat up a little bit. Colin Kortanik is catching up to the 294 of Peter Lanik. Lanik losing ground to the leader. Another close battle brewing up here with the 5th and 6th positions. We've seen this pass once. Curtis able to take the position back relatively quickly, and so it's going to take a moment here for Wiley to try to get that momentum built back up as they go into the hairpin. Downhill braking. This is about where the pass started last time. This on board with Kortanik. He's within half a second now. Has the momentum to catch up. And both these drivers starting to shave away the leader. Lanik had to turn up the heat a little bit to try to maintain the gap from 3rd position. And it looks like he's kind of carried some speed, but here through the hairpin, he's losing some time. About 3/10 through that section of the track. And on this split, the lead grows back to 1.5. Looking back from the back of David Curtis, Fletcher is in the picture. He's been there for about 4 laps now, just not able to complete the pass. There he goes, peeking to the inside, a little bit of an overshot there on the final turn. And now with the slipstream, thought maybe he was going to be able to get the run. He will not. By to lead another lap. Kennedy gets his 8th one rather, led. So looking like the car to beat with 3 minutes left to go. Probably going to sneak 2 more laps in on this one before the white flag. So the camera angle there looking like it was a little bit off, and I think there is some damage on the back of Peter Lanik. The diffuser looks like it might be crinkled up a little bit, and that might be interfering with his straightaway speed. You can see here, Kortanik, he's trying to shake him off. Kortanik's been knocking on that door, and that's probably where the damage came from. But coming by with 1:30 left. Final lap, white flag up in the air. Does anybody have anything for the 77? He's put on a dominant performance here tonight. And it's looking like he might be able to get the win, provided no mistakes are made. 2 seconds separating him and Lanik. The battle for second still on. David Curtis and Bruce Wiley still going at it for the 5th spot. So trying to get a better camera angle here. There's the part of the track that we were looking for. Third, second through 4th place has tightened up. You can see Clint Fletcher starting to come back into the picture, but it doesn't look like he has enough time to catch up to this front 2. And there's the lights flashing by Brian Kennedy. He all but has this thing wrapped up. Into the final 3 turns for the 77. The battle just behind him, still hot. Through the rhythmic portion, it looks like the 77 has done it. No pass back there from Lanik. And weaving down the front stretch, it's Brian Kennedy getting the win in heat number 1. Fletcher, top 4 there. There's David Curtis as we try to hide that. I don't know who just took flight there, but they're gone. They're out of here. That looked like Kennedy coming the other way. And he became an outer space object here. So that concludes heat number 1 at Motegi. Let's see if we can pull up your heat winner. Brian Kennedy, it's Bradley Cooper up in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I have a copy.
Brian looking dominant there. You come out lap 2 and take over the lead, and no one else was probably in your area could, I'd say. Looked like you maintained the cushion pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, Colin and Peter were getting close there. You know, they never got closer than like 0.9 or a second, but I could still feel the pressure. And then when they started fighting, that, you know, slowed them down a hair. But yeah, no, that mayhem lap 1, turn 1, I just kind of got lucky and sailed on through on the inside, and that made a whole lot less passing that needed to be done. So,
yeah, this track, I'm familiar with the oval setup on this racetrack, but here with the hairpin turn, I've seen racing here, but I've never actually participated. So what does it take to get around this place?
a lot of patience. You know, a lot of these, you know, horseshoe or hairpin turns, and they're kind of slow. And yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to say it's their favorite track, but yeah, you just got to be really delicate on the throttle getting out of those turns too. I mean, the people that can put down the power are the ones that are the fastest, you know, exiting the turns. So,
well, it looks like you figured it out here tonight. You're going to start with the inversion of the field.
yep.
I know how that goes for a lot of people, so good luck. We'll see what it entails. You have a real good shot here to come out on top in the points here tonight.
All right, thanks.
Brian Kennedy, winner of heat number 1. We get set to warm up. Some drivers are taking laps. Looks like Matthew Guazinda is out there on the racetrack currently. No, he is not. He is actually just sitting on pit road. We're going to take a quick commercial break live here on V-Speed 2. And when we come back, heat number 2, the NCC Sim Racing BMW Car Club of America will be back live right after this.
From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between. Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email.
Back live at Motegi. See a great shot of the oval. I'd like to see these guys try that out in the final race, but I digress. I can dream someday. But as you can see, the 14-turn configuration that weaves in and out of the infield into the outside. A tunnel turn in 1 and 2, just underneath the oval surface. These guys get it done out here. They go down track side for your grid. Team Dooley is going to start up front. Adam Cole, Matthew Guazinda, Terry Duncan, Bruce Wiley, David Curtis, Clint Fletcher, Colin Kortanig, Peter Lanning, and Heat 1 winner, Brian Kennedy. Some technical difficulties here, so some of these drivers actually back underway as we were stuck in a loop. Not exactly sure why iRacing decided to keep me on that screen, but now that we are caught back up, they're underway. I saw the timer kick off and we missed the green. I'm having all kinds of problems here tonight. I'd like to apologize. We haven't missed lap 1 yet. Adam Cole takes over the lead. The start of this race was a little bit delayed. Apparently I was in slow motion the whole time. Terry Duncan in second. Brian Kennedy, Heat 1 winner, has moved up a position. These guys apparently able to make it through turn 1 clean this time. And that looks like it's kept the field pretty bunched up. Adam Cole leads his first lap. Lap number 1 complete. Going around for lap number 2, it's Cole, Duncan, Curtis. Looking to the inside there for a moment. battling going on back here with Kennedy just behind Wiley. Remember Wiley, one of those cars that was up in the top 3 to start the race and had some issues, fell out of the top 5, was never able to get back around. David Curtis. Curtis up to 3rd here with Perry Duncan. Just in front of him, he's got Colin Kortanik, who was in that top 3. Kortanik has picked up 4 positions already from the start and looking like maybe he's going to have another opportunity for a possible win here. With Clint Fletcher knocking on the door here, all over the back bumper. Fletcher buried it deep in that downhill before the hairpin. I thought he might lock up the front tires as hard as he sent it in there, but he put the wheel down and kept it under him. Later in this run, I don't know if that'll work out. Adam Cole stretches the lead out to just over a second. The clean air has been very advantageous to the leader. You saw it with Kennedy. He was able to maintain that cushion and keep the gap about 1 second. Some of the drivers that struggled there in the first run, what a difference it makes to be up front. So the closest battles really on the track right now is 4th through 6th position. You've got Kortanik actually creeping up to Curtis now, so 3rd through 6th position. As they kind of fall back. Perry Duncan, Adam Cole with the clean air pulling away. You got Brian Kennedy back here. It has Dean Thulin on the bumper. We go into the hairpin. A lot of BMWs out here on the racetrack tonight. The Ferrari's trying to match pace, but it's a Ford GT in the lead here tonight. The final heat. Adam Cole is going to lead his 3rd lap. A little bit of contact here between Kortanik and Fletcher again. Move out of the way there by Curtis. It closes up the door to Fletcher and not able to crack the top 3. There's Kortanik though up to 3rd, and he's been on point since the start of this race. The 2nd heat, fastest average lap time out here on the racetrack for the 32. You can see Fletcher all over the back bumper of every car that he's been behind, but just not able to complete the passes. This has actually allowed Peter Lanik to catch up now. He was hot on the bumper of Fletcher, so the accordion effect, when these guys make a mistake, it's going to be very easy for them to get into one another. Good drive off there for Fletcher. He's going to try to use the slipstream here. Maybe an opportunity down this, just before this hairpin. Late braking, he's going to get a good run. And it sounds like Fletcher, with the late braking, he also turns in a little late on that corner. So he has a little bit longer distance that he's able to brake stable with that late turn in. But the front tires have got to hate that. After a while, I feel like those front tires are probably going to be gone. Saw a peek there from Lanik on the inside for just a moment to try to break into the top 5. The momentum has shifted back and forth between Fletcher, between Curtis, and now some contact there with Lanik getting into the back of Fletcher. Now opening up the door for Bruce Wiley. Back at the front, though, the battle for the lead starting to heat up. Adam Cole has lost that 1 second gap he had to Perry Duncan. And the number 8, just before the downhill on the hairpin, looks like he might... Ah, that's such a deceitful turn. Even on the TV camera, it looks like these guys might get into one another. Now peeking to the right side, onto the slipstream. Not able to get a run just yet. A lot of passing going on back here with the 77 of Kennedy to the inside now of Bruce Wiley for 7th. He gets by. Back up here for the lead. Perry Duncan not able to make that pass happen just yet. Curtis playing a little bit of defense here in front of Lanik. Taking the line away in the entry. Didn't allow the 294 to get to the inside. Our Heat 1 winner is starting to make some moves, picking up some positions. He's in the 7th spot right now. Mathematically has a possibility to win this championship. He just needs to make the passes. Coming by to lead another lap. Adam Cole has led 6 laps now. Top 3 right on top of each other in the closing 8 minutes left to go. Little mistake there by Duncan opens up the door and Cortana goes around him. Now it's up to the 32. Can he catch up to Pole and make the pass? back here with your Heat 1 winner in the 6th spot. The drivers 5th through 9th right on top of each other as well. It's amazing how close these guys are when you don't have carnage into turn 1. They've stayed right on point every single lap. Adam Cole comes by to lead another one. Cortanic staying right up on the bumper. I think he's probably going to make this pass happen soon. He's got plenty of time, 6 minutes left. That's going to give him probably about 2.5, 3 laps to have an opportunity. If the 10 of Cole makes any mistakes at all, Cortanic's going to be right there. Duncan also still right there into the picture. He peaks driver's left as they go into turn 11. Going to be a 3-way battle for the lead with 5 minutes left. Into the slipstream. Doesn't have the chance just yet into turn 2. A little overshot there by Cortanic, and it allows Pole to pull away about a 10th there on the exit. Less than 5 minutes to go, and now an early break for Pole. Looks like his line's just a little bit different there through the entrance of some of these corners. And that's allowing Cortanic to get right up on the bumper. How about Perry Duncan? He's also makes a little mistake there. Through turn 5 and 6, he loses a ton of ground. So a little bit of a split now between the front 2 and 3rd through 4th. Clint Fletcher trying to make some moves. There's a move to the outside on Pole, and a slide there by Cortanic. He overshoots the hairpin, and he loses about 6 positions. He's going to get right up on the bumper here. And you can hear him touching those rumble strips. Just locks up the rear tires. One more time from the blip camera on the downhill. 3 minutes left, and it looks like Harry Duncan might have pulled a little bit of damage from that. So Adam Cole has the lead with 1.6 seconds back. He's coming around here for the 2 to go mark. Maybe a white flag in the air on this time by. Not exactly sure. It might let him go one more. Clint Fletcher trying to get around the number 8 for second. Brian Kennedy all over the back bumper of Peter Lanik for 4th. Thulin is caught up to David Curtis. And the pass here to the inside for Fletcher. Adam Pohl going to get the white flag this time by. And the 10 car after a rough start to heat number 1. Might have a chance to recover entirely from that rough start. He's led almost every single lap we've completed here. The battle between second and third, the battle between fourth and fifth, still on. Then you got 8th and 7th position going back and forth. Thulin and Korchanik after the spin, trying to recover some positions. But ultimately, Brian Kennedy here mathematically looking like it's possible. If he can just pick up one more spot, I think he's got a chance here. And into the grass there for Fletcher, still trying to get by Perry Duncan. Now move there on the inside. Coming up on the final portion of the racetrack, downhill on the hairpin, turn 10. Looking like Fletcher with his late turn in might suffer here in the crossover. And he does. Not quite able to complete the pass. But here comes Adam Pohl off the final corner for the final time. Heat number 2, and we got a car around. That's Brian Kennedy. He's going to lose a ton of positions. And not what Kennedy needed here, but it's Adam Pohl going to get the win in heat number 2. Let's see if we can go back and find out what happened to the 77. He runs into the back of what I believe was Peter Lanik in the 294. So then through the final section of the racetrack, he just sends it. Looks like he was going to take him out. I don't know. More time for the blimp camera. These two are going at it pretty hard for the 4th position. That was going on for about 10 laps, and he just sent it in there. Then the carnage here at the end of the straightaway, as per usual. And in great fashion here, post-race interviews with your top 3, and we're going to try to get word on the official winner of the championship here. You're watching NCC Sim Racing live on V-Speed 2. We'll be back right after this.
From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Milo using the bottom. Zach Carr closing in behind.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
A
Zwack.
push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back here live, NCC Sim Racing has concluded its race and season at Motegi. And tonight we have crowned a champion, and we're going to pick up our interview with the winner of the entire season. And looks like we're going to start with our third place finisher here tonight, and that's Perry Duncan in the number 8. Perry, sorry to interrupt you there. I know you guys are doing your post race, but Perry, it was kind of a battle between you and Pole there for a moment, and then it looked like the 32 of Cortanic made a mistake, put you back into second. Then Fletcher there with the last lap push just got around you. But you finished out strong here. It looked like you were really good there with the clean air.
Yeah. I made a mistake. Let Colin by. He reciprocated and let me by on accident. And then Clint's just always so fast, and that's why he's top of the league. But it was a good race. It was a lot of fun staying that close to all 4 of those guys the whole time.
It was fun to watch, and like I said, I'm familiar with the oval. That's just that's the oval guy coming out. What would it take to get you guys to come out here on the oval surface next season?
Oh gosh, I've tried it. It is terrible. I'm so bad at the oval. But Scott's the man to talk to if you want to try to get us on Daytona or something crazy. He's the one. I'd love to do Indy, but it's up to him.
Yeah, I would love to see you guys at least do something that a cookie cutter track that I'm familiar with, just for fun. Maybe one heat and then go back to road racing to be fine. But outside of that, great finish to the season, Perry. I know that you were a big part of sponsoring this league and a big part of making sure that the shows happen. So I know you got people to thank and shout out. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was very, very, very happy to sponsor the league, and honestly, it's not me that sponsored it; it's the racers. I built cars for them, designed the liveries, and their donations to me went straight back to the league. So shout out to Peter Lanik, Matthew Kazinda, Clint Fletcher, Adam Pohl, Bruce Wiley, all the guys that actually put the money in so that I could keep doing what I was doing. It's been a great 3 seasons that I've been doing this and hope to continue to. So also thanks to you guys at V-Speeds 2 and SEOMike, and obviously the National Capital chapter, because without all of the rest of you, there's no league to sponsor.
True that. That is a very good point, and that's ultimately the goal, is to keep those sponsors happy. So that's what we tried to do tonight. But we broke some replays. We had some things going wrong. At least we were live this week. I know last week things just completely haywire. So at least we were here. I've got another guy on board. I don't know if you guys were able to catch the replay. Let me know what you guys thought of that. But I think everything here is successful this season. It looked really good. And thanks for putting on a great show.
Yeah, no, I think we all caught the replay last week. It was great having two of you, and you know, it's a little bit different than the oval in that there's battles all the way back and forth across the grid, and they're not necessarily close to each other. So it's nice to have that extra person watching the relative and directing the camera for you guys. So that was really fun to watch.
Yeah, very enjoyable experience for me as well, because all I had to do was talk. That's
There you
the
go.
best part about it. But yeah, appreciate your time, Perry, and congratulations on third place here. I know you're probably going to finish somewhere around 5th or 4th in points after tonight, but congratulations on a great season.
I slid right outside the top 5, so I think I'm in 6th place. But my goal this season was 10th, and I got that. So I'm super happy about the season.
We appreciate it, and that was well done. So I guess I'm gonna have to slide in here. I think I'm gonna talk to Clint last, because officially he's gonna win the championship. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. I think we'll talk to Adam Pohl here. That way we don't steal the thunder, and we appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
So that was your third place finisher, Perry Duncan, here tonight. Let's bring up your race winner, and I believe second in points to finish this thing out, Adam Pohl. You missed last week. Adam, where were you?
I was working, life.
Life. Yeah, it gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. I missed my favorite track and one of my favorite tracks, Road Atlanta VIR, and then I got to spend all week driving twin rig Motegi.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't start out well here tonight. It looked like
No, it didn't.
Looked like you had a Ford recall on those brakes into one.
Oh geez, yeah. My eyes were in my mirrors looking at Bruce, and all of a sudden it was too late. And yeah, so I apologize to the guys for making a mess of that first race, but worked out nice for Brian.
Yeah, he said he didn't have to do too much passing after turn 1.
No,
but here in the second heat, that clean air, it looked like it made a big difference for everybody that was up front.
yeah. Well, when you're at the front, you got to try. So that's what I did. And I started out decent, got a bit of a gap, felt comfortable, but like this track, you break just a hair too late once and it costs you so much time. So that put Perry on me, and slowly Colin, who was driving really well this week at this track, dragged us himself back to us, and got past Perry, and then as you saw, he was all over me, clearly quite a bit quicker, but it's a track where you're just waiting for someone to make a mistake so you can pounce on them. And fortunately, Colin made the mistake before I did, and that let me have it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the downhill, and what a deceitful turn that is, especially if you're right on someone's bumper, because not only are you going downhill, but then you have to rely on your brakes and where they're going to brake. And
yeah.
The gravity of that just taking you with the slipstream, and there's about 100 factors into that one turn.
Oh yeah, and he was like 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 at the worst off my bumper, and that's not easy to follow that close, especially on a track where it's all just like hard braking zones off of a straightaway. So yeah, Colin drove really well until it kind of fell apart for him, which is too bad.
Outside of that, Adam, you had a great season here. I know that life got in the way for some of it, but you're able to still come out second in points, winner of the second heat. You led 11 laps of the 12 laps completed. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I guess that was my first feature win for the year too. So finish on a high note. So that's good.
So do you have anybody you'd like to shout out, thank? We got you up here one last time and for this season.
Yeah, I'll just apologize to everyone that I wrecked in the first race again, and thank everyone for coming out and racing with us and having fun. And we're competitive, but it's all for fun at the end of the day. And yeah, it was a good season, so it was great.
Third successful season. I know you guys started this up somewhere around COVID and the lockdowns, and that kind of brought out the hobbyist in you guys. I know that you race in real life. A lot of you guys are out there on the track. So how how great was it to have an alternative that's carried over?
Oh yeah, I love this. It's been great to get to know a bunch of guys from, around the country or countries, and in this case, and when we run into each other in real life, it's that much better. You travel quite a distance from home to a different track, and there's a group of guys that you already know there that you get to race with and chat with every week online. So it's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal how small the world can be when it comes
Yep.
to the internet, but appreciate it, Adam. Thanks for putting it into perspective, and congrats on the win.
Yeah,
Look forward to
thanks a
next
lot.
season.
Yeah, have a good night. Bye.
Adam Pohl, race winner, second in points, and a great finish, ending on a high note, as he said, for season number 3 in the NCC Sim Racing, the BMW Car Club of America. But finally, to put it all up there, we're going to have winner next to this name as well. Clint Fletcher, not race winner, but champion. Let's put it up on the screen. There he is right there. And you ultimately come out on top with just, I would have to say, a phenomenal drive. You looked like a pissed off teenager behind that wheel tonight. You were driving in late. You were braking late. You mowed through the field from 7th position. Not a lot of guys can say that they can do that. Congrats, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great season for sure.
Driving that thing the way you were doing it was making me nervous. Watching you in that downhill, you were kind of like Cortanic, where you were right up on the bumper. You drive it in late, and you would just use that. And I noticed it. I'm not a road guy by any means, but I noticed how you were dragging out the amount of time you were driving straight to have that late entry into the corner.
Are you talking about the downhill right before,
Yeah.
before you went under the bridge? Yeah. I know the Porsche, it lacks a ton of straight line speed, but it has probably one of the better brake setups compared to all the other GTE cars. So just driving in late, braking as late as I can, and then Porsche loves to trail brake compared to the BMW, where I found BMW tends to kind of loop around. So just sticking consistently with one car, really learning the Porsche was able to help me gain some championship points for sure.
Well, that's nice to know, because I accidentally bought the BMW, so I appreciate that. Thanks for those tips.
Well, next season, come jump off the broadcast, have Adam in, and come join us racing.
Yeah, you'll have to do a lot of strings, and I think there will be a red phone ringing somewhere if that happens. But yeah, I would love to get out here just to try it. Can't say that I do it as well as you guys do. You make it look easy.
Right. No, I mean, when I first joined the BMW League, I was probably midfield to the end of the bus with the GTEs, and just I think 3 seasons or 4 seasons with these guys now have really improved my skills, not only in the GTE car, but the GT3 and the GT4. So being able to consistently practice 2 to 3 times a week has really paid off.
It's really what it comes down to. No matter what racing style you're going for, track time makes all the difference. It always has. And, getting surrounded with guys, like-minded individuals that you're comfortable racing with, that also helps improve you as well. So I guess it's not that much different from turning left every time.
That is probably true, yeah.
Clint, I tell you, dominant performance here. This season was excellent. I know that you said that you were kind of back of the bus or midfield, but here with the massive improvement, it looks like you finally figured it out. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out while we still got
Yeah,
you?
of course. All the guys that show up, all the practices, all the races, has made really well for good racing. We understand how, for the most part, each of us race. So just those guys that show up, put in the time, come out here, has made this league extremely fun. Of course, the admins for creating this league, and then you guys at V Speed for creating the broadcast.
Well, it's been a great one. I enjoyed every second of it, and I hope that you guys will have me back next season. I know we've got some plans in the future for what V Speed will or could become, so we'll keep you in the loop on that.
Awesome.
Outside of all that, though, we appreciate your time, Clint. Congratulations on the championship and another successful season here at BMW
Thank you,
Car
Bradley.
Club of America.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
There's Clint Fletcher, points winner, the 69, finishing second here tonight. great job by all these drivers. I know that it's tough to drive these things. They make it look really easy. I could do it. I know I could. But if you feel like you could do it, go ahead and drop in here at BMW Car Club of America. Look them up. Discord. They've got information out there. Links in the description if you'd like to know more. And make sure you hit the subscribe button. V-Speed 2 needs some love. V-Speed 1 and VSRN doing very, very well. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We go back live for another season of the NCC Sim Racing League. We won't miss a single race. Including our season at Motegi in the Twin Ring. New champion, Clint Fletcher. In style with the 69 machine. Gonna win it all. For everybody at V-Speed that made this possible, and Baker for bringing me on board, Harry Duncan, SEOMike, everybody in between that put the league together. Thank you for your time. This is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great weekend. And take care, everybody.
From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email.
Oh, big wiggle. Here comes Milo using the bottom zap car closing in behind.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The road gets burned.
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
Here comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.